All right, welcome everybody to our third podcast of MVP Rentals Podcasting. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I know the first one was an intro. The second one we had Adam on. But this show, we just wanted to take a second out just to give some knowledge from where we're at and what we've done and just share it with you. So it is just me and Natasha today. We're going to go over a topic which is going to be most important for homeowners as well as landlords or people who own either residential, duplex, triplex, or 4-unit, all the way up to apartments. We are doing how do we vet contractors? What are some questions we ask? What are some things that we do to know that we're picking the right contractor before we have a relationship built with them? So we'll keep that in mind. So for all the homeowners who are trying to get that porch done or re-side their house or
fence being built.
Yeah, any of those type of things, you can take these questions that we're asking and we're going to go over today. We'll bounce around ideas. We'll share some personal insights of our past of dealing with some contractors, and we didn't ask this question, and now it's on our list of things to ask.
And now it turns into a horror story.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we just wanted to go over that. So that's a little introduction into what we're going to get into. So hopefully that fits with some of you guys who are listening, thinking you could take some nuggets from this and use them in your own life. I wanted to turn over to you first because right before the show, we started talking about this one instance where Natasha had, it was the fence, correct? No, it was a stucco.
My stucco.
Stucco. Where she ran into one of these issues where contractors call them change orders.
Mm-hmm.
But she ran into one of those situations. So I just want to bounce it over.
Sure.
Should we lead with that question?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So the question was, how do you deal with additional charges that, how do you end up being okay with additional charges? How do you talk about additional charges, and what do they need to give you to let you know that there will be additional charges? What happened to me was I had a contractor repairing my stucco and painting, and after all was said and done, he never handed me any change orders. He never made me aware of any additional work that he was doing. And at the end of the project, he tried charging me 50% above and beyond what the initial quote was. And I said, wait a minute. Where does this come in? What happened? Why was I not made aware? And how can you charge me this amount of money now? And it was a big ordeal. My now husband and I basically said, get off our property and don't come back. And lo and behold, the stucco started peeling the next day. Like it started chipping off, and the paint started peeling. Yep. Great. Yeah. Yeah. So then the following year, I had to repaint and repair my stucco myself because I couldn't trust another contractor to do it correctly.
Yeah.
It was awful.
And now you know how to do it. So there's a silver lining in it.
For sure. I don't care to ever paint. Thank God my house is 1 story. If it was 2 stories, I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah. The project I'm doing right now is a 2-story. I couldn't get myself to go on the roof and do roofing. I have no problem doing roofing, but with the pitch and the height, I couldn't do it.
No, thank you, yeah.
Yeah, I would not be doing stucco on a 2-story. I don't know if I can get up there.
Right. So I think it's just important that you have these conversations with your contractor ahead of time so that you're both on the same page and are aware of what changes or what happens if you have changes and the lines of communication are open. Yeah.
And all these questions that we're going to go over, yes, they may be a little bit awkward when you're trying to vet a contractor because, when you're doing a new porch, you should at least call 3 contractors. Right. And you're going to have to ask all of them the same questions. You'd rather ask too many questions early than get bit at the end where you didn't cover your bases and now this is happening. So billing is a huge part, obviously, of what this is all going to happen. And everybody does it differently. There are some contractors that need 50% down before they start. There's some that do it they'll do it pretty much in chunks of 4, so you divide it up that way. There's some that bill halfway through for work done. A 70-30 split where 70 in the front, 30 at the end.
Sure.
which I've actually got bitten on that one too.
Really?
I thought, and then the contractor out of nowhere just showed up. It was super weird. So you got to know what you're getting into on the billing side if you're comfortable with it. And if you're not comfortable with it, you could be honest with the contractor, I'm not comfortable with that. And some will work with you. Some will just say, yeah, it's our standard procedure. That's what we have to do.
Right.
And that's just not the right fit for you.
Right. I remember after the stucco project, I had to hire a handyman to come out, and basically what had happened was one of my walls, I guess, got waterlogged and was crumbling from the inside out. And he asked me for 50% down, and I was so hesitant to do it, but it ended up being a wonderful fit. He's my go-to handyman. He saved me probably $10,000 in just that repair alone.
That's awesome.
So I'm totally happy. I always give him my deposits now. And we have a great working relationship, so that's really nice.
Yeah, and as you use these contractors more and more, get referrals from friends and all that stuff, you're going to get to know them, and things are going to be easier.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those awkward questions you have to ask are going to get easier for you and for the relationship between you and your contractor. But
right. One of the things I have found too when working with a contractor is if you ever want to, you can always ask them if they ever offer a cash discount for projects.
Yep.
And I've saved myself, a pretty penny here and there. Like when I got my new windows installed, or even with this handyman, it's just nice to save a couple $100 here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, cash is king.
Yeah, and there's actually a new. I've never used it, I've never taken advantage of it, but contractors are offering financing now.
Oh.
So it is like the opposite. You may end up paying more.
Right.
But if you don't have the cash on hand,
mm-hmm.
some contractors are offering financing. So even in that regard, you can ask if that's more up your
mm-hmm.
your alley, then ask if they offer financing. It is few and far between, so not everybody's going to do it. But
I've done it through like the big box stores, like Home Depot,
mm-hmm.
And I've done it with them. But I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily use Home Depot again. Not anything knocking on them. I just prefer to use small business owners.
Yeah. But just to circle back, the change order, it is a crucial thing that you're going to have to ask, because these smallest things will change into $100 here, $1,000 there, and at the end of it, you're like, what just happened? The quote was X, and now we're X times 3.
Right.
So asking about change orders, letting them know that if anything does change, you will have to sign off on it, otherwise it will not be paid.
Exactly.
In making that a firm, if they don't approve the change order with you, it will not be paid.
Mm-hmm.
Get it in writing, have everybody sign it so that everybody knows, because for any reason you'd have to go the legal route, your word versus my word is not a fun place to be.
Right. I would have gone the legal route had we actually thought he would have had the money to be able to reimburse us for our expenses, but we didn't think he was. So.
Yeah. We're going into, I think we beat billing down.
Yes.
It's important. Ask for change orders. Ask for your quote.
I just think having more paperwork is better than not having enough.
Especially in the billing side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But some just like common questions that you should ask. The duration of how long they've been in business. It is a big one.
And ask for references.
Yeah. And usually some of these companies, if you go with smaller, newer companies, they've worked with somebody. So
mm-hmm.
if they say they've only been in business for 2 years, 1 year,
for sure,
you can ask them who have they worked with previously, because usually they're on a crew
mm-hmm.
and then move into their own business.
And what else you can do is you can CCAP your contractors.
Absolutely.
And I should have. So I have another horror story. So we got a fence built, right?
Mm-hmm.
And within the first week, the gate on the fence started sagging and wouldn't latch closed. So, and then the boards on the fence started falling off of our actual fence itself. So, had we CCAP'd him, we would have seen the legal proceedings that were against him at this time, and we probably wouldn't have hired him. But it unfortunately was the cheapest option, which I guess is we got what we paid for. Yeah.
Is this the guy that you did not do any background check on?
Correct.
It's just, hey, you do fencing, that's great, sign me up.
He gave me the cheapest quote, and I was like, totally, I'm sold. And he talked himself into the job. He was like, we do everything on site, we build your fence to suit. And I was like, oh, that's awesome, totally totally will hire you. No, I should have seen Captain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always good to do a background check. You can always ask for references. You can ask them for the last 2 projects that they've done. Would it be okay if I called the last job you just completed, or the last 2, or can you show me pictures of the last couple projects you've done? And not every contractor. Some are old school; they don't take pictures. But if they want your business, I'm sure they'll show you some pictures.
Right, but I think even feeding off of that is like, how are you going to keep in contact with me? How are you going to keep me up to date on the project and what we're doing on a day-to-day basis?
Yep. That is important.
Whether it be email, text message, phone calls, something. I like to be kept in the loop at least. I don't know about you.
I like to know what's going on. I like to be aware, but I do like to give my contractors, at this point with working on them, the freedom, the flexibility they need to do. If they don't show up on a day, they probably don't have anything to do. But most of them, they keep me in the loop with where they're at. I keep a pulse on it.
Well, you also have a much bigger project than, say, tiling my kitchen floor or...
Right. So if this was a smaller project where I was just getting... I'm trying to think of a bigger project that takes a duration of days. So siding a house. And contractors would show up on Monday for 3 hours, and then Tuesday they don't show up, and then Wednesday for 4 hours. That's red flags.
Right.
Like, what's going on that's taking this much time? Do you have too many jobs that you need to bounce half days between all the jobs? Do you just not want to get this thing done?
Right. Which amazes me, because it's like, the longer you take to finish this, the longer it's going to take for me to pay you.
Right.
So what's the motivation here?
Right. So just making sure that if they're going to show up, or before you sign on the line, what's your schedule? When is this going to start? What are your days going to look like? And there's always roundabout ways of going about it. One, you could say, like when I'm inside and I'm doing my framing or the interior work, you can always ask the contractor, like, okay, next week I'm going to be doing X, Y, and Z from this time to this time. Is this going to interfere with your schedule? Like, are you going to be there on site at this point? And that's my indirect way of saying, like, all right, what are your hours going to be?
Right.
And obviously, if I don't get my answer that I was looking for, I will flat out ask them, like, what does your daily schedule look like when you're in?
Right.
And it's usually when they're in, because there's always, like, steps to get into where electrical can come in. Because that's coming after HVAC, which comes after plumbing, which... Like, there's always a sequence of things.
That's way over my head. I, tried to general some projects of mine, and, when I had to renovate one of my businesses, I would general it, but it wasn't, HVAC and plumbing and all that. It was just, building. Yeah.
So, it goes 2 ways. Like, I had to be in communication with them, saying, hey, this is the status of plumbing. This is the status of HVAC. This is the status of, the rough frame. This is where the mason's at. So that they can prioritize their schedule, because there's nothing worse than a contractor ending, the next one's supposed to be up, and they're like, I had no idea that this was going to get done so quick. I have you 2 weeks out. And now you can't do anything for 2 weeks, which is just eating cost, eating time.
Right.
So just like they need to be in communication with me, I'm always trying to be in communication with them so that everything works as seamless as possible. And sometimes there's some overlap, which is really nice, because I've had one where the electrician, I called and he was like, oh, where's the status at? And I told him everything. He's like, oh, yeah, I think we should be able to start on this side of the house, and we'll work right up to where HVAC and plumbing is at this point. I think it'll work great. And ended up, no one was stepping on toes. It was a crowded house, but we were able to manage our space and get everything done that we needed to get done.
Right.
So communication is big. And like you alluded to, is it going to be phone calls? Is it going to be just an email every night, or a text message here or there of when you're going to be there, what times, all that stuff? It is important.
Right.
They have to realize that you have a life as well, you have things to do. You've got kids, you've got dogs, you've got grocery shopping to do,
I've got a zoo.
Yeah, you've got family, you've got stuff going on. You need to make sure that they're not in your way and you're not in their way.
Right.
So if you look at it in that aspect, we're just trying to make sure that we can all get this stuff done and we're not interfering with each other,
For sure.
I think takes the tension off of asking when are you going to be here and what, like how long.
Right.
So I think that alleviates some of that stress, because I know that there's some people that feel like if I ask that question, it's kind of pushy and I shouldn't come off. They should do their stuff and I should let them,
Right.
like, just realize you have a life. It's okay to ask a question.
Right. And I think a big thing too is figuring out, like for me, when I had this fence done, I was like, now, are you going to be pulling permits for me? Do I need to pull permits? Because I knew that a permit was needed for it. And he's like, yeah, we'll pull it. And, like, he never followed up with me. And I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the permit. Like, let's just get these permits done and taken care of. So I think that's a big thing, too, is to make sure that when you do have your work done, that you do it legally, appropriately, correctly.
Absolutely. As much as you'd love to save the couple $100 from getting a permit, just do it.
Because weren't you just dealing with that today?
Yep. I had my inspection at one of the properties. We have some things to clean up. He's calling out some stuff that when we were all together at Contractor, all the different contractors and whatever aspect of the house they were in. Hey, are you ready? Yep, we're all ready. And even though we feel like we are 100% ready, we've done this every time, every inspection is different, which unfortunately we had a couple things called out on sealing some heat returns. We had 2x4 that wasn't under a truss. It was just some weird stuff that we just didn't see coming. Not major fixes, which is the good part. It just delays us a couple days. So tomorrow is actually going to be fixing all those things that we just didn't tie up. Shoes on. Laces just aren't tied, apparently. So we're going to clean those up. He'll come back Thursday or Friday, hopefully.
Nice.
And then hopefully next week we can start on the inside, get some insulation and all that stuff in. So,
absolutely.
But if I did not get my permits and he came through,
you'd be in big trouble.
that would not be a fun one.
Because I think, because that had happened to me when I had one of my renovations done at one of my properties, and I think we had to pay like double the permit fee is basically what it ended up being, which wasn't awful because it was a small job, but I was upset that the contractor that I hired didn't take that responsibility upon himself to do so.
Right, and that's something to ask for in the quote is the permit included in this? Have you worked within the municipality? Do you know who to talk to about getting the permit? I know for HVAC, I pulled the permit. My electrician pulled the permit on his own. Plumbing pulled the permit on his own. The rough framing I pulled. So it really is case by case of what contractor you work with. But that's stuff we talked about. Hey, do you want to do it? And we both were like, I don't know. Who wants to do it? And I was like, I'll just do it.
Right. Open lines of communication are key.
Yeah. Yep. And working within the same municipality, we all know who we're going to get the permit. Right. So it's really just who's going to take the time out to go get it.
Exactly.
Which makes it pretty easy. But yeah, permits are good. On that whole legal side of things, the other thing that you should be asking is, are you certified? Do you have insurance? Two big topics to go on that legal side. If you're hiring a general contractor, make sure that they are certified general contractor.
Right.
And you're going to find out, I mean, if they're not pulling permits with the city, they may not have a license number. They may not be a certified contractor because you can't pull one if you're not licensed as a general contractor or a master electrician where you've got your own legal registered number where you can pull the permits. Now, in my cases where it gets weird, on the properties that I own, I can do it without a general contractor permit because I'm the homeowner. But I can't go into your house and pull a permit.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah. So that's where I'm able to pull permits on my jobs. But if it is a project that, like if I was going to go help my mom do something at her house, I can't pull the permit for it. I can help her pull the permit, or her general contractor can, but I'm not legally able to.
Interesting.
Which is the next thing after broker license would be contractor license so that I can do it all myself.
I am learning something new every day.
Yeah, it's important. But obviously the business insurance, contractor insurance, important things if something goes wrong. I mean, we're putting up trusses, which are a couple 100 pounds on a telehandler, 30 feet in the air.
Right.
Like stuff can happen, things can break.
For sure.
So it is important to make sure that everybody is covered.
Right.
No one plans for it.
Right.
And 99% of the time, you're going to be fine.
Right.
But the one time that it's
Something
not
goes
fine,
awry,
it is really going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's never just like the small accident that just goes away.
Right. No.
In that kind of a thing.
And I think what ties in with that is a warranty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are they going to stand by their work? Or is there anything that you can do if something breaks that they repaired, or, you know, a tile chipped, or what have you? Like, I just think warranties are something to be yearning for, something to want.
Yeah. And that's okay to ask them, like, hey, when you finish your job, if something does go wrong, is it okay if I call you? Mm-hmm. At least to come back and take a look. Usually if you can get them back to take a look, they're just going to fix it.
Right.
So
right.
Being open and asking, it doesn't hurt to ask. It happens more than you think.
I had my other wall. It's like water seeps through because I have stucco on the outside of my house. So water will find any way through any crack and just start to kind of deteriorate your wall. And my handyman came out the other day and just looked and tore the wall apart, and he's fixing it for free for me, and because he fixed it last year. And he's like, well, obviously I didn't do my job correctly, or I didn't finish it to the full extent, so he's just repairing his work.
Yeah.
It's great.
And that's really good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. If you can find contractors that'll come back and do that, keep them around.
Absolutely. So my contractor came out, he tore the wall apart, and the best part was he cleaned up his entire mess. I didn't have to ask him. He just went ahead and did it, and I walked back in my bedroom, and it was spick and span.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Funny story. If I had to say if there was one contractor that was the cleanest, it was my demo contractor.
Really?
Like, I would walk into the house after he was done ripping apart a kitchen or a porch, and he would sweep, and like the floors were like clean, and I was like, I don't know if he was here today or if I just missed him, but like everything was spotless when he was done. Like, his job is literally to destroy stuff.
Can you just come back on a weekly basis?
Right?
You know?
That's what I thought. Like, I just want you to demo my kitchen floor with a broom. No, he would come in, he would rip off this whole back porch, doors, walls, drywall, plaster. Everything was swept up at the end of the day.
That's awesome.
I was like, wow, this is great for such a messy like industry.
Right.
To be so clean and orderly with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought that was great. And obviously a job site's not going to be clean.
Right.
If you look at the project right now, there's lumber around, there's scaffolding around,
right.
There's supply. It's just a messy area until it's all tied in and complete.
Well, you have a big project on your hands, so I mean, somewhat to be expected.
Yeah, some of the neighbors are seeing the bigger picture of it coming along and being awesome. Others, they're miserable.
Right.
It looks like it's in disarray.
And that's tough for a neighborhood that's not like a neighborhood that's like a new build neighborhood.
Yeah, this neighborhood that I'm working right now is one of the older neighborhoods in town. If you're going to get a renovation, it's like you got a new roof.
Right.
It got reshingled.
Mm-hmm.
So in this area, there hasn't been a lot of movement. I mean, this house was built in the 20s.
Right.
And probably hasn't been touched since. Maybe a new roof, like halfway through that.
For
but,
sure.
Yeah, there's not a lot of big projects going on. Hopefully it's the first of many that I can do in there. But yeah, it's hard to see from the outside. Like, when you look at a job site, you look at this pile of lumber that's been sitting there for weeks, months. And you're like, when is it going to move? It's all organized. We know where everything is. It's just you run out of storage.
Right.
So, like, we actually had a theft issue because we had locked our door, but it got kicked in. So on a job site, nothing's safe apparently. But yeah, you run out of storage, and you can't take 6 bundles of lumber that weigh hundreds of pounds and put them in like the center of the floor of the house that you're just trying to build. Like, it just doesn't happen.
For sure.
They sit outside. You can't put them in the garage. You've got your tools and everything locked up in there or locked up in the house. Like, you just run out of space. So that is actually a big thing where if you are taking on a bigger project, like we had 3 or 4 contractors in at the time, we had to make sure that we had enough storage and where they could put their stuff. So if you're having this deck being built, I don't know why I always go back to a deck, siding, roof, where are you going to put the shingles? Where will you put the siding? Do you need to take over the garage? Do you keep it in your truck? Do you need, if you keep it in the garage, do I need to be here to let you in? Do we have a lockbox code? How is everything getting moved? Because security is going to be big. And space is a big thing. So ask them if it is a bigger project, if you're doing the deck, where are you putting all the lumber? Because I've experienced this as well. You call this company that I'll leave nameless, say, hey, deliver some lumber at this site. This is where I'd like it. Here's a flag in the ground. Put it right by the flag, and it's on the opposite side of the house. So it seems like it's very elementary to spell out exactly where you need things and how things are going to be stored. But once a bundle of lumber is dropped, unless you have a skid loader or forklift, it's not moving. You can't push that.
No, I've actually had really good luck. There's a great landscaping company here in town that I've used for multiple projects. When we put our brick paver patio in, they dumped everything exactly where we specified, and it was fabulous. So easy. It was just like we just picked the stuff up and put it where it's supposed to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Easy work there.
Oh, for sure.
That'll be there. Oh, the other thing on top of that, just going like a little bit further on it, if they are going to be using your basement or garage, if there is going to be a lockbox, you got to make sure that things are secure throughout the day. So if they're leaving your garage open so that they can go in and out for lumber, your garage is open, which means people walking by, if it's street visible, it's going to be there. You've got to be aware that the stuff may not be secure if they're going into your space. So another big thing is security of that stuff. Like I mentioned, we had theft. It was locked. Like that stuff, it happens. Which I don't want to make it seem like it's this norm. It's not fun. I've just gotten to the point where I accepted it because it happened. We lost power tools. We lost a stand to a table saw. Not the table saw, the expensive table saw, the legs.
That's so frustrating.
So I'm like, you're not even stealing correctly at this point. So security is going to be important. Just make sure you go over that with them. It's not like this is going to be a big 20-minute conversation about security.
Because you want their supplies to be taken care of, too, not just your stuff.
They are coming into your neighborhood. You know the neighborhood. So if you feel uneasy that the garage door is being left open or your front door is open, you need to express that to them. Otherwise, they just worked in a different neighborhood where that was fine. Like, we just left it open and went and grabbed lunch and came back and everything was fine. But every neighborhood is different. You got to give them kind of like the makeup of where, So just touch on it, let them know what you'd like to see so that they can honor that. It's going to be way easier in the long run just to get that stapled down before, rather than, hey, you left my door open, you went for lunch, and my stove is gone.
Oh, gosh.
So heaven forbid the stove does not get stolen, but that was the first thing that popped in my head. But if we follow that down, let's say we left the door open, stove's gone, what just happened? It's not going to be a fun conversation when the contractor gets back.
Not
so
at all.
If you discuss, all right, here's security measures. I don't want my garage door left open. I don't want my front door left open if you leave the property. Or if it gets to the point where when you walk in, I want the door closed, like spell that out before, because what that's going to lead to is my stove's gone. How are we going to fix this? And you don't want there to be, well, that's your stove. I didn't know that it was such a rough neighborhood. Can't blame me for it. Where you're looking at him like, well, my stove wouldn't be stolen if you didn't leave the door open. But now we're like, who's right? Did I not let him know about the neighborhood? Obviously, it's an accident. We all understand it's an accident. Things happen. But to get in front of it early, I mean, how are we going to resolve our conflicts or any disagreement on that one? It's not a fun topic.
No, not at all.
Like
makes me super uncomfortable just thinking about it.
I know. Some of the equipment that was stolen was not mine. One of the carpenters got some of his stuff stolen. One of my crew guys got 3 power tools stolen.
That's rough.
Yeah, and to call them and say, hey, I locked the garage, but
I don't know
like
what
it got
happened.
kicked in. We lost your tools. All I told him was like, Merry Christmas, we're making a Home Depot run. I'm going to buy you some new tools. Like that one was on me
Right.
as the owner or the one running the show over there that like he wasn't even there that day, which I felt bad about.
Oh,
So
that
his
sucks.
tools didn't even get taken out. They just were gone.
That's so hard.
I know. It's not fun.
Being a grown-up sucks.
I know. But now we learn our lesson. We get our stuff back. We're all back operating. And we've got cameras all around the whole property.
Good.
So if anything should happen again,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got it labeled everywhere, under surveillance. So I haven't had an issue since.
Well, good.
Which is good. Got locks and everything. Never can have too many locks.
No.
On anything. But yeah, do you have any other questions that you usually ask? I'm trying to go through. We covered most of them.
I think that's pretty much. I think we did a pretty good spectrum of questions today.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us
Yeah.
and let us know what you'd like to hear about.
Yeah. I don't claim to have all the questions or all the answers, but if you have some that you have used in the past with some of your contractors or have been brought up in a situation, absolutely share those. We'll comment on it. I would love to know because the more we can share information,
Mm-hmm.
the better.
And
we
if
can,
you have any great contractors that you want to recommend to us, we'd love to hear their
Oh,
names.
absolutely. I always vet 3 for a job. I've
Or-
worked with them in the past, and I always let them know, hey, this is going to go under review. I'm sending out bids to 3. We're
Mhm.
going to see what happens.
Or if you have any contractors that you want us to stay away from,
Yes,
let
that's
us know
important as
that
well.
too.
That is important. I've racked up a few of those. Not too many, though.
I have about 50-50 with mine.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's unfortunate. No, all of mine have been great. But that does come from the conversations before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, hey, I want to get my deck done. Can you give me a price?
Right.
Like, price is one thing out of the whole
Right.
project.
Right.
And I have no problem talking for a half hour over a quote.
I was
about
probably a
what's gonna
little
happen.
impatient.
Yeah, don't rush those. Like, take the time, sit down with them, or go over a phone call, and make sure that they're listening for, like, give them 15, 20 minutes.
For sure.
Just to talk about the project.
Mm-hmm.
And they like to get sidetracked, and I'm sure you'll get sidetracked about, like, oh, I want it to look this way, this way, this way.
Mm-hmm.
Go over that stuff, because that is important. You want it to look right.
Right.
You want it to be done right. But there's so many other things in the back end that you have to take the time out. And it's boring. I'll admit.
It's okay.
It's not fun. It's not as fun as coming home and seeing your new siding.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
coming home and seeing your new hardwood floors all done and finished.
Oh,
That's
so
the
nice.
fun part.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, that's the fun part.
It's like unwrapping a Christmas present.
It is. It's a big Christmas present. But take the time out in the beginning to take all these questions that we gave so that it doesn't run into the situation where there's chaos at the end. You want the end to be this glorious unveiling of the new project.
Right.
The less work you do on the front, the more you're going to have on the back end.
For sure.
It needs to be done. It's going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
I think out of all the projects that I've handled, maybe 2 or 3 were like easy, nothing came up. There was no chaos.
Sure.
Nothing was wrong. No supply issue. No timing issue. It's going to come up. It just is.
Right.
So take the time out before, when you know it's going to come up, to figure out what's going to happen.
Right.
When it happens that way. So hopefully everybody took something from this.
I hope so. I think we had some good stories.
Yeah, it's always good stories.
Right.
No, I just hope that when you listen to this, if you're thinking about doing that project or you've got something that you need fixed, repaired, take some of these questions, write them down. You can literally look at them on the sheet of paper as you're talking to the contractor or on the phone with them, just to ask just some basic preliminary questions so that everybody feels comfortable. So hopefully it was a bunch of help.
Hopefully.
And obviously, like we said, share on Facebook, comment on this post if you have any questions that we left out that you feel are super important, or if you took a question from this and it resonated with you a little bit and you're like, oh, I didn't even think to do that.
Right.
Next time I will. We'd love to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, good contractors, bad contractors. Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun. If you don't want to make those, obviously, public,
You can just send it to us.
Yeah, you can send us in an email.
For sure.
It's always satisfying doing it in public, though.
I know.
I feel like a post like that would be like the bad Yelp review.
I had to call out my fencing contractor, and like it went Facebook kind of a little bit viral.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. So, I forgot to talk to you about names out, project out. So, had a contractor, came in, did, I don't know, 60, 70%.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just didn't hear from him
Oh, no.
for like a month.
What?
Just gone. And within that period, there was like 3 weeks out of that where he couldn't do anything. Like, he got his stuff done. He went to do other jobs, and I completely understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I would update him, hey, this is where we're at, because he had to come back and finish because other stuff had to get done before he could finish up what he was doing. Hey, this is where we're at. Hey, this is where we're at. Next week, this is where we're at. No replies back, no replies back, no replies back. I was like, this is weird.
Right.
And then I sent him a message, not about an update, just, hey, just want to make sure that you're coming back. Haven't heard from you. Gave you a call, didn't answer. And then at the end of it, so we're on like week 6, and I need him there on week 8.
Oh, no.
So it's been some time. Haven't heard from him. I know he's busy during this time, but like a simple okay text.
Right.
Because I work with text on all my contractors.
Oh, for sure.
It's just emails are too much.
I love texts because I can refer back to them and be like, oh,
yes.
No, he emailed me on X, Y, or Z date.
Yep. I mean, if it's important stuff, I always tell him call me because, like, as you know, I don't always get back to text right away.
Right.
It may take, I'll say hours, sometimes days,
right,
to get back, but I can always reference back to him. So going back to it, we're on week 6. I need him back on week 8. And I finally just sent him a text. Hey, no hard feelings. Haven't heard from you. I'm bidding it out to somebody else to finish the job.
Oh, boy.
Just flat out, I didn't know what to do. I tried everything.
Right.
And my last-ditch effort was just letting him know, like, I'm not mad that you're busy.
For sure.
If you're busy, I mean, on a personal level, like, I think you'd offer somebody some respect and let them know, hey, I'm super busy. I don't mean to dodge you. It's just busy. I just said, hey, I'm looking to bid this out for other projects. I'm guessing you're busy because I always think the best of people. I think he's just busy. Came back 2 days and showed up and was like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
All right. That sounds good. So, I mean, and the work he did was great. It was awesome. It was awesome. Just for next project, if we decide to go and team up again, there's going to be some communication that's going to be done.
Right. Absolutely.
It has to be done because as I'm trying to move everything along and get everybody in the loop and keep all supplies going, everybody working where no one's hung up on somebody else.
Right.
I can't have a weak link.
No.
I can't do it.
Absolutely not.
If anything, I want to be the weak link. I want everybody else to be on point, and I'm the one holding back.
Right.
So yeah, it was a little unsettling. It's nerve-wracking. I would like lose sleep at night.
You're already stressed out enough with this big project.
Yeah, I'm talking about it, I'm stressed. But no, it was frustrating, and it's hard to sit back and just, it's going to be okay. It's one small thing, but I'll tell you, like, as you're leading up to, like, okay, we're about to pass them up, and if we pass them up, like, this is going to be chaos after.
Right.
He showed up and got everything done, no delays.
Awesome.
So, I mean...
Glad he got it done for you, at least.
I know. And it was good because, like, the money that I had left, he bills on a job process, so as he gets stuff done, you bill him, you pay for it. Which I personally don't like, but I liked his work, so I went out on a limb and did it. Because what I feel could happen in that scenario. So if a contractor does bill out by either hour or by project completed, so if they've got a list of 10 things, they do 7 of them, you pay him for those 7.
Right.
Now, if he's going back out and he's getting other jobs that are going to pay him 2 times more, there is the possibility where if all you have left to pay him is $2,000 and he gets a job for $5,000,
Oh no.
he's taking $5,000.
Right.
And that it stinks. It's never fun to be on the short end of it, but
For sure.
with the tab that I had open with him for the finished work that he needed,
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining he took other jobs, and that's what led
Got
him
it.
to go that far. So, just for me, I'm not saying everybody needs to do this. For me, I don't like the bill per project.
Right.
It annoys me because if there's a little tab out, because I was getting quotes for the same stuff, and let's say I had $3,000 out for him, the quotes I was getting just to finish were like $8,000.
Oh my gosh. That's a massive difference.
I know, but it was all grouped in. So
Right.
like his quote to come out mobilized once or twice was
Mhm.
different than this person to get everything going
For sure.
and just come on site on short notice.
Right.
So yeah, it was a little panic. I was like, I didn't plan for that budget,
Right.
but yeah, he pulled through. It happened. But I probably
Awesome.
won't do that billing ever again.
Understandable.
Oh, big news! We're on Apple.
Yeah, we are on Apple.
You need to tell us about that because I'm gonna be honest, I had no part in that one.
MVP Rentals LLC. I think you can just search under MVP Rentals.
So we got more ways to listen. Yeah, so obviously we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Share us, write to us, whatever you have for us. That's awesome. But if you are in the car and you listen to podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
we are on Apple Podcasts at this point. So.
And we want to hear more of your horror stories.
Oh, those are so much fun.
I know.
Like on our Facebook, I think it was Mondays.
Yes.
We do mistake.
Oh my God. Mess It Up Mondays.
Mess It Up Mondays. Those are my favorite ones.
Awful. It's cringeworthy.
It is. And I love seeing them. So if you have pictures, please share
Yes.
it with us. Like we want to promote those. We want to put them out there.
Absolutely. This last week one was good. The reverse pyramid.
What people think of.
Yes.
But we're going to wrap it up. We had a good show. So thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with Lauren, who's going to talk about, it's another financial one. She's going to be talking about 1031 exchanges, which is basically rolling over your proceeds of a property into the next asset that you are going to acquire, what that does for you in terms of tax and proceeds. So, but I'm going to leave the details to her, but there's a little plug for next week's show. Otherwise, we're signing off. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening.